Draw a circle around all the fractions that are equal to 40%. Okay, so 40%, that word percent means per 100, so out of 100. So the first fraction that comes to mind is 40 out of 100, 40%. Now we're going to look at all other fractions which are equivalent to this fraction. So I know that that would be the same as 4 over 10, just dividing the numerator and the denominator by 10. And that could be the same as 2 over 5, which could be the same as 20 over 50, which could be the same as 8 over 20. So where did I get 8 over 20 from? Well, if I double 4, that gives me 8. If I double 10, that gives me 20. Now, all of these fractions here are equivalent to 40%. And remember, 40% means 40 per 100. So let's have a look at the list of fractions then that we've been given. And we're going to try and see whether any of these fractions are here. Now remember, these are not all of the equivalent fractions. These are just a few. And hopefully we'll either be able to manipulate these to fit those or the other way around. So 8 over 20. Now would that be the same as 40%? Yes, it would be. So I'm going to draw a circle on that one. A quarter. Do we know what a quarter is as a percentage? Well, I know that half is 50%. And a quarter is half of this amount, which is 25%. So no, a quarter would not be the same as 40%. What about 2/5 then? Well, 2/5, yeah, this is over here. And 2/5 is the same as 4 over 10, because if I double both, which is the same as 40 over 100, which is 40%. 10 over 40. Okay, if I cancel this fraction down by dividing both the top and the bottom number, the numerator and denominator, by 10, I'd get the fraction 1/4. And we've already established that a quarter is 25%, not 40%. And then what about 5 over 20? Well, let's see if we can cancel that down then. So 5 over 20, pick the biggest number that fits into 5 and 20. So I'm going to go with 5. So I'm going to divide each of these by 5. How many 5s fit into 5? 1. How many 5s fit into 20? 5, 10, 15, 20, which gives me 4. So this is actually equivalent to a quarter, and we know that a quarter is 25%. So some other ones to think about. Well, 3/4. Do we know what 3/4 is? So if 1/4 is 25%, then 3/4 is just 3 lots of this, which is 3 lots of 25%, which would give us 75%. So have a look at some others then. 60%. That's the same as 60 over 100. Can we cancel that down? Yes, we can. Divide both by 10 first, shall we? So we get 6 over 10, which would cancel down to 3/5. And all of these are called equivalent fractions, and they're all equivalent to 60%. This is just written in its simplest form, but they're worth the same.